Dr. Tushar Patel, welcome again to ITV Gold. Thank you so much for your time here.
Thank you so much, Aditi and ITV Gold, for this continuous session of our discussion on pandemic.
Yes, it's so important. We need to raise awareness to the public, and we also need to address what's happening in the nation. So let's go right into it, Dr. Patel. I'm looking today at 12.5 million cases in the United States at 258,000 deaths. My question to you is, cases are surging across the nation right now. The Midwest is doing really bad. Why is this happening, and how are you looking at these numbers?
So Aditi, the main thing, we are having the same issue as US never did the good job in controlling or mitigating the virus. We never flattened the curve. We never went down to 10,000 cases per day. We always went from 30, 40, and now almost 140,000 cases per day.
Right.
In last 1 week, we had more than 1 million cases. So I think unless we do that, there is no way we're going to have that number of cases go down in the US.
In terms of looking at the Midwest, were you expecting that region to basically break out and explode into cases? I mean, they're saying hospitalizations in the nation is at 85,000 already. What caused all of this? Or did you expect it?
So I expected it because I think people over there, even in South in Texas, are reluctant to wear masks. There is a mixed messages from the government, from the governor, from the mayor. I think we need to talk in one language, that mask is a must. Mask save lives. Mask reduce the spread. If we don't do that, I think there is no other measures we can take right now to mitigate this virus.
When you're looking at the tri-state especially, right now I know the Midwest is doing really bad, but the cases here are also rising, Dr. Patel, and we were the epicenter, the worst hit in March, April. What do you predict in these states, and should we be worried?
So coming big holidays, Thanksgiving this week, and then in few weeks we're going to have a big holiday, Christmas and New Year. I think if we don't take the precautions, if we don't take the public health control measures right now, I see the cases rising almost the double by February. So I think we all need to be real careful here and follow the public health guidelines. And we have been telling this to people that don't take this virus lightly. This is a serious virus, and it's definitely can and cause a lot of problems.
Have you heard anything on the hospitals that have been overwhelmed? What's happening there?
So right now, compared to what happened in Tri-State before,
Right.
in March and April, we are much more prepared. We do have PPEs. We do have hospital beds. We do know a little bit now how to manage the patients. So all these things are in favor of the healthcare professionals and the institutions. However, if we overwhelm with the ICU beds, if we have more people going to the hospital, that can cause another big kind of issue for our area as well.
I have to ask you at this point, Dr. Patel, is the worst yet to come when you are looking at COVID-19, when we're looking at these coming months? It started around this time last year in China, if I'm right on that. What's your comment on that?
So unfortunately, with these two big holidays coming up, and
Right.
people still traveling via airplanes and other mode where they don't have social distancing, which is social distancing makes very difficult for those situations. And I think what I heard, a lot of people are still traveling despite CDC's recommendation not to travel. I see a major problem coming up within next 2 months.
Wow, they are saying that they're taking rapid tests before traveling, or families that are gathering more than 10 people are also saying that everybody will be tested. Does that help, Dr. Patel?
So the rapid testing is only at the spot test. So if something happens tomorrow, rapid test will not show up. So I think we have to be very careful, because the incubation period of the virus and the entire logistics, how the virus spreads and all those things, by testing negative today doesn't mean that you are safe to travel and all those things. So that's the falsehood of the sense in someone's mind.
While we are talking about social distancing, I would love to know your comments on indoor dining or indoor activities. At this point, should these activities be stopped, such as the gyms or the restaurants and other things?
I think because that will be the best approach right now. Gyms and indoor restaurants, whatever we can do right now to mitigate or slow the spread, I think that will help. The lessons learned from previous months, especially in our area, if we do that, I think we will see better results in January and February.
Are there any therapeutics that are in the works right now?
So as you know, remdesivir was approved, and now another one is approved, is called Regeneron. So we have two therapeutics right now approved by FDA to use for COVID-19 patients in the hospital. Regeneron is just one dose IV medication one day, which is very effective. That is what President Trump received when he was in the hospital. So I think we do have some therapeutics available right now, but it doesn't work on everyone. So it's case by case. So we have to be still very careful of using the common sense.
Let me ask you something. Do you think COVID is still a mystery to most doctors? Is it still a disease that we still have no idea how it's mutating in a body?
You are absolutely right. This is like a 9 months old baby, right? So you don't know how the baby will behave when he or she become child and adult. So it's the same thing. We need to have more studies, and the studies at least takes 1 to 2 years in order for the epidemiologists to come up with some kind of logic and some kind of science behind it. Why this is happening? Why is this happening to certain population? Why the medication is working on some? Why some people has to go on ventilation? All those things are still premature. We do have a lot of information now than before, but still there are a lot of mysterious questions for the medical professionals as well as CDC and other healthcare agencies.
Let's talk about vaccine, because obviously that's the $1,000,000 question that everybody's asking right now. How are you looking at Pfizer, Moderna, as well as AstraZeneca? I know they're releasing their efficacy in the vaccine. Could you give us an insight into what's happening in that domain?
So this is the forecast I'm expecting. By end of December, high-risk people, the medical professionals, the elderlies, will start getting the vaccination by end of December. By end of April, early May, low-risk general population will start getting the vaccination. By end of May, early June, the goal of this country to have 70% of the US population receive the vaccination. That will give us the herd immunity, and then we will not have to wear the mask or going in public places with fear.
You know, today the Health and Human Services said that they could possibly start the distribution of vaccines soon after December 10th. Do you see that as a possibility? I know you just mentioned it will start in December, but that's very soon. That's in a week and a half.
Absolutely. And let me tell you one thing about that timeline. So December 10th, Pfizer vaccination or Pfizer proposal will be reviewed by FDA. December 7th, Moderna vaccination will be reviewed by FDA. Within 24 to 48 hours, FDA will rule out, okay, go ahead and approve this vaccination. Once the vaccination is approved by FDA, CDC will weigh in and develop a guidance for the vaccination. So that is how I'm looking the guidelines for the vaccination. And one more thing I would like to mention here. There are 4 different pharmaceutical industries working on the vaccination. 3 of them we already know. Right. Pfizer, BioNTech, which is 95% effective. The drawback of that vaccination, it requires minus 94-degree storage. Right. The cost is about $20. Moderna requires minus 4-degree storage. Cost is about $15 to $25. Wow. AstraZeneca is the one I think we should all look into, which has low efficacy right now, 70% in the initial trial, but the storage is only 36 to 46 degree Fahrenheit, which is in our regular fridge. Right. And very cheap, is $2.50. And the one coming up in upcoming weeks or months is J&J, which only requires 1 dose. Wow. So I think, yeah, so it's a light at the end of the tunnel, but I think until we reach that, or until we have the population get the vaccine, we still need to take all those precautions we have been taking for last 9 months.
Right. You know, in terms of the vaccine, Dr. Patel, could you give us an insight into what the vaccine is actually doing from these trials that are happening? What are they doing to the body?
So that when you get a vaccination, antigen is given to develop the antibody. So most of the vaccines are based on that. There are traditional ways and newer methods are used this time. And I think this vaccination is 21st century vaccination compared to the other ones. And that's why we're seeing the 95% effectiveness or 90% effectiveness or 70% effectiveness. In the old days, we only used to get 40, 50, 60% effectiveness. So I think this is what will happen when you get the vaccine. You may get little sick for a day or two,
Right.
have some tenderness, but that is common in any kind of vaccination. And I think people should not be discouraged by those symptoms.
Just a follow-up question on that, Dr. Patel. What have you felt about the number of participants these vaccine trials have had? I know certain only have about 30,000, some have about 10,000. Is it enough sampling of the population to really make an efficient vaccine?
So phase 3 clinical trial requires minimum number is 30,000, and that was achieved in all US pharmaceutical trials. So I think that is sufficient enough in these days and time of 21st century with all the technology available right now to develop the vaccine.
Okay. In terms of the vaccine, how important do you think it is right now for people to take the flu vaccine?
So first thing, right now flu vaccine is available for anyone to take. So everyone is encouraged to take the flu vaccine this year. When the vaccine comes in January, February, and March, for the common people, I think we should definitely make the priority and take that vaccination either at your doctor's office or CVS or any other pharmacy, wherever you can get this vaccination. I'm not even sure how the vaccination will be distributed. Is the insurance company will pay for it?
Right.
Who will pay for it? How much will it cost out of pocket? All those things probably will come up within the next few weeks.
What do you say to people that are already saying, I want to wait for 6, 7, or 8 months before I take the vaccine?
Not a good idea, because the clinical trials has been very successful with very minimal side effect, and I think the US government and FDA and NIH did a wonderful job in getting all those things, make sure the compliance is there, and they will be doing that when they review this on December 8th and 9th.
Yeah, it's very interesting. A poll actually found out that 51% Americans are more willing to take the vaccine. So, hopefully more and more try to take it. While we're talking about vaccine and the treatments, I have to ask you a question on testing. Do we still need more testing?
Yeah, more testing we do, more people we identify,
Right.
we isolate them, we quarantine them, and we do contact tracing. If we continue to do that, I think we can definitely reduce the spread within the next 2 months before even the vaccination comes.
Another survey that said pandemic could be stopped if 70% wore mask. It's new studies that are showing. Your comments on that?
Definitely wear a mask in public settings, and people who you don't live with is most important thing. So if you go to grocery store, if you go to a supermarket, if you go to a public transportation, you must wear a mask. Wash your hands often and avoid touching your mask, eyes, nose, and mouth. And I think common senses, we have been talking about it for past 9 months, has to be applied until we have 70% of US population injected with that vaccination and we develop that herd immunity. And then at that time, CDC and NIH and WHO can tell us that the pandemic is over.
I just have a few questions left here for you. The first one is a prediction that's been made by some health experts today, saying that about 20 million people could be totally infected in the US for coronavirus by January 20th, which is the inauguration ceremony of the new administration. Do you think we will reach that number?
I think my predictions so far has been very accurate,
Right.
based on my understanding and studying of this pandemic. I think with 2 major holidays coming, if we don't follow the public health guidelines, we'll definitely reach to that milestone.
Oh, wow. When you're looking at this new administration, they're going to inherit COVID probably at one of the worst times possible, with the surge going really out of order here. What do they need to focus on, according to you, which was not focused on in this administration, especially with the healthcare crisis?
So the new administration, Biden administration coming in January, they do have a wonderful team of experts, healthcare experts in their transition team right now, and I'm pretty sure they are working very hard to with the current administration now starting today to gather all the information and endorsement and how to successfully distribute the vaccination. I think if we can do that within next 2 to 3 months, I think we should be in good shape.
Yeah, but we definitely need a mask mandate in the country. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Get your flu shot, wear a mask in public setting, wash your hands, and if you are in person meeting your immediate family,
Yeah.
make it 4 or 5 people and not 10 people.
Yeah. I just have two questions left here for you, Dr. Patel. What do you have to say about, and I ask you that all the time, the at high risk South Asian individuals? What do they need to worry about right now? Are you extremely worried about people that have diabetes, heart diseases, or lung issues?
My sincere appeal to those individuals not to do anything this Thanksgiving. Stay home if possible. Just have a gathering with immediate family, 3 or 4 people. Not to go shopping, not to go to the mall, not to go to the supermarket for any other visits. Try to limit their outdoor visits. Wear a mask if they have to absolutely go out, but avoid public places if possible. If next 2 months for them, it's going to be very, very critical.
Yes, for sure. And my last question to you actually has to do with children and COVID. Where are you seeing that trend go? New York City public schools have been closed. A lot of the education system has gone into virtual as well on all levels. Could you tell us some insight into what's happening with children and COVID-19?
So children are still at lower risk of getting COVID-19, but they are not immune. Like before, it was said that children don't get the COVID-19. That is incorrect information. They still need to be very careful. School can be open with some restrictions and some guidelines. In my opinion, the school closed in New York was not necessary, but I think the mayor made the decision based on the 3% threshold for the community spread, and it's a catch-22. So I think that those kind of calls mayors and governor has to make based on the science and advice from the public health officials in the state.
Yeah, definitely. Dr. Tushar Patel, thank you so much for your time here on ITV Gold. Again, I would love for you to give one last message to our audience.
So my last message is online virtual Thanksgiving is better than ICU Christmas. So happy Thanksgiving to all. Stay safe, get your flu shot, wear a mask in public, wash your hands. Just do common things for next few months. I think January, February, we all will be in good shape in 2021.
Well, here's to hoping for a better 2021. Thank you so much again for your time.
Thank you so much.